A whiskey brand in California?
You asked the why.
Right.
And the why was, it sounded cool, like
Yeah.
really pitching.
very-
We were
it
going
was
to
very
build a
romantic.
brewery.
You're right.
We weren't even thinking about whiskey.
Rod and Hamish are the co-founders behind Rod and Hamish Whiskey, a full-scale distillery and whiskey destination that's turning heads and rewriting what West Coast whiskey can be.
It's really to keep spreading the word of California whiskey, really penetrate the West Coast, be known for the West Coast whiskey.
In this episode of Behind the Mobile Bar, we dive into their story, how they met, why they chose the Central Coast, and why they built their own distillery instead of sourcing from somewhere else.
This is
Thank
great.
you. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Absolutely.
We also get into what it takes to stand out in a crowded spirits market, how they're connecting with the next generation of drinkers, and what's next for the brand. Let's get into it.
Good morning,
Guys, how was that? I'm a little coarse right now.
I think
but-
you crushed it.
All right,
Just
appreciate
have
it,
a little
man.
bit more whiskey and you'll
Yeah,
be
we'll be
fine.
all right. We'll call that One Take Morrissey right now. So that's my last name, by the way. Anyways, this is super exciting. You know, for all the folks that kind of tune in to Behind the Mobile Bar, that's in the mobile bartending industry, they're used to us seeing like in our little space with the greenery background.
Yeah.
We are in San Luis Obispo in the Central Coast right now.
We hit the road today, guys.
Yeah,
This
with
is
Rod and
great.
Hamish. This is great. We appreciate you guys just even being so accommodating and letting us do this early in the morning with you guys. So
Yeah, welcome to the secret barrel room.
yeah,
Love it. Thank
nice.
you.
We
Thank
love
you.
it. Absolutely. So, guys, I think one of the things as I was doing my research about you guys is really your story, and just like the two of you guys, how you met, and why whiskey. You know, I want to hear it. Like, yeah, just I would love to hear about how you guys met and your backgrounds.
And then if you can introduce yourselves, yeah,
Right.
please.
Why don't you do your version first?
Good morning. I'm Rod,
morning.
the Rod part of Rod and Hammers. And this is my best friend Hammer, nickname Hammer from Hamish. That's all Australians have nicknames, Bibbo, Rye Dog.
Rye dog.
Rye dog,
Yes. We accept.
Yeah. You know, we've been family friends. Our kids grew up together. Our daughters went to school and rode horses, and you know, the Central Coast, a pretty amazing place here, and we've shared a lot of great memories building our business together. But we really had just a vision together. We both had come from different areas of success, and we said, well, let's do something together. This is fun. And so we started our little journey to do this.
Wow.
And it's been a little bit longer than we thought. We started with a beautiful blank lot here of dirt and an old brand called Slow Brew, which was based down in San Luis Obispo. It's-
Okay.
If the viewers know, it's probably one of the oldest breweries in California. Started
wow.
the same time Sierra Nevada did. But it went through its ups and downs like all businesses do. And we took it over. Hamish had built the building over there. We decided if we're really going to re-engage the spirits and bring beer back, we're going to have to build a facility. So short stories, we built the facility out. We didn't quite understand the business. We built this huge space with this beautiful
I think
brew
you
house.
should tell them all the way back of doing downtown as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chime in.
Well,
Chime in, yeah.
So,
Let us have it.
just Rod's background's, he's a brand guy. I was a builder.
Got it.
Oh, got it.
Like in
Brand makes
construction.
sense.
Yeah. And Rod retired with diapers on, super young, and
Congrats.
wanted to get back in to do something. So that's why we started. So we bought Slow Brew. It was super special to both of us. It was the first place he had his first underage drink.
Yep.
That's right.
And it was actually the first place I landed when I came out from Australia in 1991.
Wow.
And got kicked out because he was smoking a cigarette downtown, which was the first town to make smoking illegal. So he didn't know why he was
it
getting
it
pushed
great.
around by
They
the
said
police.
this is a
Wow.
non-smoking town,
Interesting.
and it was
No
like,
idea.
there's no.
Yeah.
This is the days that you could have a cigarette on a 747. I just got off the plane, and literally they threw me out in the gutter and said it was a no-smoking town. I thought I'd landed on Mars.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Wow.
Well, it didn't scar you because
No,
you're still here.
you're still like
Right. What brought you here in the first place?
I came out here to do some work.
see.
Met a woman, and
It's always a woman.
Yeah, sorry guys.
literally 12 months later, we were engaged and then married, and that was the.
And it's been unicorns
That's
and
it.
and it's been
that was the
unicorns
start
and
of the
rainbows.
journey.
I love it.
Yeah, no, we're still married.
And that was
it's
your
good.
background was in construction in Australia?
Yeah.
Got it. And so you were doing construction work.
I was
over
doing
here.
construction and financing out here.
I see.
Oh, wow.
And
Did you have anybody out here or you just on a whim?
I came out to work for a guy out of Santa Barbara.
Okay.
He actually ended up being my father-in-law.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
And so, I stayed a year. I was only going to be out here a year and then ended up staying
Forever.
forever.
Yeah.
So
Can't
it's
hard
to leave
good.
California.
We go back a lot. We got
Can't get rid of
interest-
them.
Oh, you've tried.
Tried.
I'm assuming you've tried.
Yeah, plenty of times. But anyway, so when we both, like Rod said, we both had previous, lives and businesses.
Right.
But we owned a building downtown, which we redeveloped at the same time as we were building this for the pub downtown. So we had the Slow Brew pub downtown. We built a little hotel. Built this at the same time. I was talking about this on the weekend. I was like, holy shit, we did a lot. We built out 4 businesses, all in about 18 months and opened them all up at the same
that
time.
is a lot.
And
Yeah.
neither one of us had ever brewed a beer. We'd never run a restaurant, and we'd never run a hotel. It was
look
actually
at
the
you
most stupid
guys.
thing we could have ever done.
But
it was a journey.
I love that because obviously it's such an archaic industry, right? And when you've done it for so long, sometimes this is how things need to be done. When you get fresh, new, innovative ideas, you guys can do things differently and in a different way, and question why are things done a certain way. And new minds are needed for that type of stuff. So I'm actually very
New,
fascinated.
young.
I didn't.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know
I
that.
think you bring up one of the best points is that we got into the beer industry during the height when Ballast Point was selling for $1 billion. And we're thinking, man, we are kind of going into this as business people saying, you asked the why.
Right.
And the why was it sounded fucking cool, like
Yeah.
really bitching.
very-
We're
it
going
was
to
very
build a
romantic.
brewery.
You're right.
We weren't even thinking about whiskey, right?
Yeah.
What we were thinking about is we're going to go after this IPA market or the blondes. Well, we quickly discovered that was really tough, and we all turned and looked at each other. And I remember I came back to Hammer from being on the road, going, I can't get anyone to distribute anything. And it was so much tougher. I used to sell a green tire sealant called Slime. That's what my first business was. And I thought that was hard. It wasn't, because we're the Crayola of crayons. We're the only product.
Right.
But now you are one. There was, just in California alone, I think there's 4,000 craft breweries.
Yeah,
Right.
Just in
that
California.
craft
Especially in that-
beer
during that
explosion
boom
was
as well.
huge.
So-
Yeah.
100%.
So like any good marketing, you always look for white space. And what wasn't happening was a beer cocktail that was like more approachable to women, to be honest.
Yeah, Right. that's a big-
And we played around with a bunch of things, but we ultimately landed on, and his wife was really instrumental in it, a blood orange hef.
We are
And she
familiar.
literally was just
Yeah.
saying, we gotta try this. Well, this came out pink, frothy, beautiful, but really feminine. Like, you're like, holy crap, I can't wait to see a pint walk through the door. We see this in our tap room, and honestly, people's heads just turned, and they started drinking. Well, that was a huge success, and within 2 years of doing that, we rebranded it Cali Squeeze and pulled Slow Brew completely off of it, right? So, and then we ultimately sold that to Firestone Walker.
Wow.
And Firestone Walker has gone and taken that from a 10,000 barrel business that we sold to probably 5-6 times that
Right.
in
Wow.
like 2 or 3
Yeah.
years. But brand incubating was kind of like our thing. I said, well, this is cool. We're good at this. Let's keep focusing. And it's a lot tougher than you think. I mean, they are unicorns. And we decided, well, we have this beautiful facility now that's not producing anything. And we'd already been playing around with making whiskey. So we had a friend up who was a very early adopter, because licensing for alcohol in California only happened in the late 2000
Well,
teens.
it was
Oh, wow.
it was the
Really?
it was
That
the
is
craft
really
spirits
recent.
license. So
Yes.
they brought out the craft brew license was a 75, which had been around forever, but they didn't have one for distillery, so they came out with a 74.
So this friend of ours asks us, he says, hey, you guys make this mash out of the beer, I'll turn it into whiskey for us all, and we'll share it. And we're like, that's cool. I didn't even know we could make whiskey out of beer.
Right.
Well, that's the truth, is that, the best distillers in the world have to be master brewers first.
Right.
And people really don't understand that beer is the basis. It's a rye grain, it's a corn grain. Corn is a lager, rye is a wheat beer. All of those things that combine. And we said, well, we have this beautiful big kitchen. We bought a great still. We got so excited about it, and we loved whiskey because we're a little bit older now, and you can't drink beer all the time.
Right.
And so that kind of set us on our journey. And we had slow brew. We tried to make it slow stills.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us. They said you had to personalize it. And I'm like, okay, we'll just do it. We called Rod and Hammer by all of our friends. And I said, no one will know it's really us unless they discover it. It's two
Who you
people.
are.
Otherwise
Yeah,
it sounds
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
Right.
know,
It's
a
someone's
cool
fishing
name.
and
Yeah.
you catch a big
Rod and
marlin
Hammer.
and you bat it on the
Whack it
head
on
with
my
a
head.
hammer.
Yeah.
Right,
Perfect.
right.
It's exactly what I thought, actually.
Yeah, and real quick, Hammer instead of Hamish, what's the thing there? Or is there like,
It's just your Australian
It was an
nickname.
Australian nickname
Yeah.
when
I
I
see.
played football.
okay, so I can call you Hammer.
You can call me Hammer.
Yeah,
Everyone does.
love
it.
it.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
Hammer
So-
it is.
There's something about California whiskey that tastes like home. Not because it's flashy, but because it's familiar, balanced, grounded in where it's made. At Rod and Hammer, you taste it right where it comes together. The space, the people, the process. Then you hear about the water. Every bottle is cut with purified Pacific Ocean water. You're not just drinking whiskey, you're tasting California. That's why this one feels like home.
Yeah,
But
it's
that
way
was,
cooler
but,
than
but,
Hamish.
but Cali Squeeze was sort of instrumental because, you know, for us and for, you know, David Walker, who bought, you know, that brand.
Right.
You know, Rod and I had been able to capture sort of California in a can. And that was really the lifestyle. And then he definitely proved, we proved it as well, but he definitely proved that California travels. Everyone wants a little piece of it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like Rod said, when we pivoted and went into whiskey, it was, you know, the goal was to sort of create this brand, lifestyle brand, around how we saw California and California whiskey, because no one was doing it. I mean, you couldn't.
Well, nobody even thought you could.
Nobody
Like,
thought
it was-
you do
right.
whiskey
No one
it
thought-
in
was a shock like
California.
that. We get it all the time here. It's like, how you can't make bourbon? Absolutely, you can make bourbon.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the Americas, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be new oak, American oak.
Right.
It has to be 2 years barrel aged, and it has to be 52% plus of corn or rye, and you know, that's it. So we love teaching people here all about that, and we've gotten to become so passionate about it, and we're doing it in a different way. Like, you know, candidly, Hamish and I haven't really gone and toured a bunch of distilleries throughout the world. We just haven't. We just did this, and it's kind of fresh, like you said, like trying to create your own. Like, how let's fuck shit up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Let's
Do it.
let's
Right.
Get
let's
it.
go after
Love
white
that.
space. But the one thing was with white space, we couldn't name a single whiskey distillery in California. We thought about it. I mean, I'll challenge you guys. Can you tell me 5 whiskeys from California?
No.
The only one
Rod
that I
and
can think
Hammer?
of is Red,
Wait. Score.
Redwood Empire. I think they're out in Sonoma.
Right?
Right.
Do they have a distillery?
I don't know. I've never.
They
been
do
up
not.
there. They do not. Okay.
They take barrels and they barrel age from extra wine barrels, and there's stories all about that. They take it's beautiful, but they're part of a larger wine group. But they're very successful. They've done a great job of branding out, and they've grown really quietly and beautiful packaging. Great product too.
Right.
Still not manufactured.
But it's not distilled.
I think they're starting now.
Interesting. Yeah.
Now,
see?
were you guys well received here with the whiskey when you started that out, or how hard
People
was
loved
it to
it.
push it?
No,
But it
it's
started out locally. I mean, we started out
Yeah, yeah.
during COVID, and that was
Right.
great. That was actually great for us.
Yeah,
Right,
you know,
right.
and
So
it,
the
which,
local
it
for the
was for
industry.
the industry. That's where the boom really
That's
started.
when everyone really started drinking.
Yeah, you know, what else was there to do, really?
Right.
yeah, and I mentioned we started very low key. Like having a foundation and a real solid foundation is important for any brand, and you have to be true, authentic, and bold. That's our mission.
We talk
Right.
about that all the
and
time.
If you're Glass House and you are just a name, we're not rock stars, we're not entertainers, we're not performers. This is just a business. But those brands come and go, and we felt that in California, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of tequila brands with a name on them. You're going to see
Yes.
a lot of vodkas and gins or one-offs. But this we built to last a lifetime. We really wanted the foundation to grow. So we have the largest whiskey club in California, guaranteed.
great.
We have about 1,800 between our barrel club, who own their own little barrels, and then our bottle club, which is today. You guys are going to be joining us.
We're so excited at the
for our,
pickup party tonight.
quarterly pickup
Yes.
parties, which are awesome. They're so well
Over
attended.
1,000 people are going to
Yes,
come
yeah.
out here.
Yes.
Way more fun than any wine tasting thing you've ever
I
been
love
to, I
it.
promise.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, we invite all your guests to come too. Come hang out with us.
This is great. And kind of going along those lines, like, do you guys ever get shit about, not being a whiskey from Kentucky? Like, and you alluded to it. It's like a lot of people think, oh, bourbon's made in Kentucky. But like, do people give you shit at all for that, or any hate or anything like that?
I think we went pretty deep in California. So, I mean, Californians are, pretty loyal to California. And we always say, when we talk local, local is California for us.
Right.
And So I don't, we didn't get shit in California. I think it was more of an education of, hey, look, you don't have to be a Kentucky whiskey. And we got this slide on our deck actually, and it shows all the different regions of Japan and Canadian and Kentucky and all these areas that people are used to getting whiskey from.
Right.
And California is the largest goddamn state in
Really?
the union,
Yeah.
and no one's attacked the market. It's 45 million people. So, I mean, I think where we start, right at the beginning, and I know we'll talk to this a little bit as we get through it, but a lot of people bring in booze and just put it in a bottle, and we do some of that. We bring in, I think making whiskey is about making it, but making it isn't necessarily just distilling it. It's blending it. It's sourcing the best juice that you can find, and when we started out, the shit that we would get was, hey, you guys are just another MGP brand sticking it in a pretty bottle. And we got asked the question when we right at the beginning, it's like, so what is California whiskey? And we were like, fuck, I don't know. I mean, we're just we're just trying to work that out. But we're trying to do certain things. Our barrels are sourced from Chiloy up in Napa.
Right.
Our rye,
They're air dried. They're not kiln dried. They're beautiful. That's why they don't have all the burnt. They're like a winery, right?
Got it.
The terroir,
4 miles from the ocean.
Yeah, and the whiskey's soft like the wines that are out in the valley. They're just so it makes a big difference. Our rye reserve, the yeast strain that we use is the same yeast strain we used in Cali Squeeze, the beer. It's a California yeast.
Yeah, people don't understand that. Yeast is it's only to your property, right? It's your footprint.
Yeah.
Right.
It's your DNA.
100%.
And I think those stories are all really good. And candidly, you're going to have to when you first hit it, when you think about how many brands are using a variation of blending and combining their own stuff. So High West would be a great role model, right?
Right.
Whistle Pig. These guys, there is a lot of beautiful whiskey out there, and currently there's a ton of it out there that's coming in. And then how you treat it and what you do with it is really important. Whether it's our canned cocktails that we're putting real bourbon and real rye in, whether it's our peach whiskeys or our winter spice that are more seasonal, we're grain to glass on some very beautiful rye whiskeys. And then the other ones, we do everything we can to import and bring into our facility and then barrel age, do all of the aging here, and then push out to market.
I love it. I love it. And so this is great. I want to geek out a little bit about what's in the bottle. So going from the very beginning when you guys kind of said, we're going to do whiskey, what was the first one that you guys made? Like, was it a rye? Was it a bourbon?
It was our rye reserve.
It was a rye reserve.
And
that was the first one.
Yeah, and it was funny. We found a couple of cases of it the other day.
Oh, wow.
Where's the bottle? There it is, up there.
Up there.
Right in the middle.
Wow.
So it was a funny label, funny.
Can't wait to try that one.
Yeah, and it's
And not going to get open. I think that's like one of one.
yeah,
Wow.
but it was
We
unfiltered.
drank them all.
And,
Yeah, well, that sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, but that was what we were
It
sort
is.
of bootlegging with Alex Villicana up in Paso Robles, and that's really how we got into it, and then decided, hey, let's stay with brown spirits. We talked about do you do a vodka as well, and it was like, no, you got to be sort of singular to master your own trade.
Do your one thing and do it well.
and do it well.
Grey
So
Goose doesn't make gin.
Right.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels doesn't make
Right.
vodka.
Right.
If you're a
Yeah.
brand person, you stay focused, you stay in your lane.
Right.
And whiskey honestly has so many lanes. You can go into a California single malt. You can have a bourbon. You can have a rye.
Right.
You can do we have some beautiful series that we do double cast age in all of the local wineries barrels here.
Cocktails.
So we picked out as many as 100-point wine barrels as we could find throughout the coast, and people love it. The winemakers love it. They want to give us the barrels, and then we share that with our club members.
Right.
Yeah.
Some things you can't scale to go to retail, but then others you can.
Right. And what is right now? What's your hottest SKU? What is this is the thing that's carrying us right now.
Well, we have three of them, which are these three. Sorry, where's the old fashioned?
This is the season of the winter spice.
Yeah.
Winter spice, which is what we're all having
drinking
right
right now.
now. It's
So good.
delicious.
This
So
is
good.
already ready to gift. It comes like this. We have it in everywhere, like Trader Joe's, Albertsons, Bonds, Pavilion. It's up and down the coast or online, but it's delicious. We do about 2,000 cases just this month alone, which is a ton of whiskey, and people love it. And then our number 2 by far, which again it speaks to innovation, is our peach whiskey. Most people go peach. It's the first thing. Even our head sales guy always leads with it, and I hate it because I'm thinking, no, we're just got to have the high-end cask and reserve. But this is, bartenders love this, right? A peach paper plane, a peach old fashioned. They don't have to do so much work. But this is backed with the black tea, and it's got real peaches, and it's beautiful, and the dark color. But it makes for great cocktails. And a lot of the stuff that we do is we really focus on making the bartender's life easy.
Right.
We
Because
appreciate it.
there's a lot of mixology involved, and so we love that you can do everything super scratch. But if we give them a little leg up to have some unique liquor that really helps them. So like a winter spice old fashioned, a winter spice with eggnog, done.
Right.
With coffee.
With coffee.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
No, that's great. And
The other two are our straight bourbon and then the old
old
fashioned.
fashioned. Those are your top SKUs right there.
Yeah, and we got a great, one thing that not a lot of people have done, and we're doing it well in market right now. I think we've got about 250 5-gallon barrels out there in market at restaurants and bars, and a lot of them grab our pre-made old-fashioned.
Right.
I think
and
we
put
have
it-
one, right?
We have one as well.
We
right?
have one
You
at
And
the
said
that's
barn.
been great because for bartenders, it's consistent.
Right.
Yeah.
You can charge a little more because it's getting aged in the
Barrel
barrel.
aged, right.
And the guests get a kick out of it.
And
they
they get a
love
kick
it.
out of it.
Yeah.
So
It's a story. It's an experience, which they love.
No, I love that. Now, is there anything, because you guys are on the coast, how does that affect your whiskey making? Or is there like the barrels that you're getting, or the process, the air, the climate? Like,
Well, we have one of our ways of making it unique is we're cut with the Pacific. Right. So not only is all the water and the air that comes in, soaking up our reservoirs that we're using in our liquor, but we literally go and like the first few, I paddled out on a surfboard and grabbed some real ocean water, and we distilled it, and then we use that as part of the cut. Now it's a very small blessing in every barrel. So, but they do this in Scotland with bog water. It's a real story, and we heard it, and we said, well, that's really kind of cool. That's a really unique way to make it special. It's a little marketing, and it won't ever have any taste, but truly everything is cut with the Pacific.
Yeah,
But it's
I
also
love
giving us
that.
that difference between he's from Australia, I'm here, and that's just that body of water. The Pacific's really special to us. So that's where we want to live.
That is really cool. I
love
love
it.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
no, that's awesome. And I guess my biggest question that I have for you guys is kind of going back to our community. So as we talked earlier offline, we have a bunch of mobile bartenders that we kind of cater to and talk to and help them run and manage their businesses with our platform. And our biggest thing that we tell them is, hey, behind the bar, knowing your product is super important. And what's great about the mobile bartending industry is that there's just one product. There's one whiskey, one vodka, one tequila, instead of like 20 of them back there.
Yeah.
And when you have so many brands and SKUs, it's just impossible for you to know the
get-
stories.
Right,
You
of
get
everything.
lost in the sauce. You're
Yeah.
like, what do you want? Like that kind of thing. But now we can actually go a layer into the brand itself. So if there is, and normally this is like an ending question, but I want to pick up off of this. If there's like a 2-liner situation of like you would say about Rod and Hammer whiskey to the mobile bartenders so that they can tell the story to the guests,
their
what would you
guests,
guys say about your brand? Maybe one from both of you guys. I'd love to hear different iterations of it too.
I would say that our whiskey, everything that we do with our whiskey, we approach it as really approachable. It's it's like California. Everyone wants a little bit of that sort of cowboy surfer. We've made the whiskey. We're trying to make the whiskey where it's approachable a lot to women as well,
That's actually
because
one of the questions,
they haven't been big whiskey drinkers.
Right.
So,
It's intimidating for ladies.
It's intimidating. It's brown spirits, and a lot of people don't know that you can make cocktails with it. So I think, from my standpoint, I would say everything we're doing, we want it to be really, really good juice that's approachable to the market. It's not the IPA of whiskey.
Right.
But it's super approachable. It's 100% great quality, and it matches the bottle that's in there. It's an experience. It's California.
Yeah. I love that.
it.
Yeah. I think I would add, I think once we have, we actually track about 15% higher than the national average for female drinkers.
Oh, wow.
And we've done that because women find it very sexy. Like whiskey and being a part of it, is a very, it's got some real sex appeal. And it's been a man's club.
Right, yeah.
Now they get a chance to bring it in, and we're doing it with like the flavors like peach whiskey and the winter spice, something a little bit more approachable.
You'll see tonight. I mean, all the women there.
Half of our members are females, and we love it.
love it. Yeah, but it is definitely education, or for what I'm used to seeing with a lot of ladies. They come up and all they know of whiskey is an old fashioned.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for them to drink. They can't see anything past it, but it's fun to educate them, like Ryan's talking from behind the bar.
Listen, our number one drink when we started the bar was we went after margaritas. We went after tequila. I find tequila to be very, it's not the quality that you think it is. Whiskey, specifically bourbons and rye, you have to use a brand new oak. It's very expensive to produce.
Right.
Tequila, you can use anything. They use our barrels when they're done.
Right.
You can use anything, as far as barrel aging. And then you don't even have to barrel age at all. And then you think about that in a cocktail, but our whiskey margarita, I promise you, when you taste it later today.
Oh, I'm excited.
And our whiskey Paloma.
Margarita is my
And our
go-to.
whiskey mule.
Paper plane.
But when you teach people about this elevated spirit that gets to go in a cocktail, and your mixologist will know this too. I mean, people espresso martini will make it out of a really good, rye or bourbon. You're going to see that it's got some real texture and real flavor too. And so we like seeing that. We like teaching people that. And if I said anything, we just want to be how California does whiskey.
Right.
We really want to put our flag in the ground saying, we're California whiskey, we're bold, we're true, we're authentic, we're, surfer, cowboy. We truly are surfers and cowboys.
Surfer cowboys,
He's a
I love
cowboy.
it.
He has horses. And it's a part of California that we're not competing with, what teams people like in San Francisco or what groups are hanging out with down. We're just everyone's happy melting pot here in the middle.
I love it.
And we love our Valley members. We get people all over from Bakersfield, Fresno, Visalia. They're like our biggest loyal fans. We love it.
Wow,
love
that's
it.
great.
Yeah, that was
is
built
great.
during COVID.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like, from what I'm hearing, it's like you guys are here in the Central Coast and you kind of just started local, and it's just growing and growing, and you're putting your staple in the ground like, hey, California is doing this.
Yeah.
And we're a force to be reckoned with. Come check us out. And you're right. I think what I love about using you guys as a preferred whiskey on our platform is that it is California based. And I think, Rod, we talked about it earlier. It's like, I'm not like, do the Bourbon Trail, go to Kentucky, do that. That's cool. But like, gosh, I gotta get in a plane. I gotta do all this stuff. I gotta figure this out.
Or maybe drive up to Rod and
just-
Hammers, save that
Right.
money to go to Cabo, Hawaii,
Right.
or Las
Take a
Vegas.
couple
Bingo.
of hours up the coast. Yeah, this
Right.
is perfect.
Bingo.
Yeah.
This is so cool for us to be able to just drive up. We literally got here yesterday. It only took a couple hours or so.
Yeah.
And then we're right here, and I feel like we're in a different world and get to jump into your world to see how this is made. And I'm really excited to kind of, do the tour as well.
And that's actually interesting because San Luis County is the only county in California with a actual distillery trail. And there's 32 different distilleries in this county.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so not even nowhere else in California. So
Right.
so the Central Coast has really sort of grabbed hold of this sort of artisan craft
Right,
Yeah.
right.
and doing some great stuff with it. So for
absolutely.
Rod and I, it's been it really truly is how we see California. If you go down to Pismo Beach here, there's cowboys on the beach on their horses, and
Yes.
there's women and
Seen
men
it,
in the
yeah.
ocean surfing. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's not many places in the world that you can actually see that.
Right.
So
is
it's,
so
it's,
cool.
it's a pretty
Very
cool
cool.
spot.
Yeah.
You guys got to come and check it out. Come to the Central Coast, come to San Luis Obispo, come check it out.
Yeah.
I want to shift to kind of like the business side of things. And we're going through some different times of like alcohol.
We are?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are feeling it.
Movements, right? Yeah.
It's
The
interesting
movement
to
is
us
big.
because what we see is like, and brands talk about it, right? Like, okay, the percentages of drinkers are going down, or how much volume is going out is going down. At the same time, what we see is like personalized experiences are going like way up.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of theories and stuff that's coming in and why people aren't drinking as much.
The big non-alc movement.
Right, like all that stuff. And so like other drugs are available and stuff like that. So like I'm very interested in how you guys are being creative and standing out in this market. With all that being said, in addition to the new generation of drinkers, like how you were appealing to them, I think you alluded to it a little bit, but let's double tap on that and see. I'm curious on you guys' thoughts.
Well, I think that a lot of these health changes are really, they're great, right? Some people really, this is important. However, we're growing 25% this year. We are growing
That's huge. Yeah.
through canned cocktails. We are growing through ready to drink, like the old fashions. We are trying to pick different areas that make it easier for people to enjoy social activities. We are now, we were told by, the big boys, like, oh, don't have canned cocktails. Well, we find it as a nice gateway. Like, we're up in Tahoe, Brewfest. We're pouring canned cocktails, our peach canned cocktails, our mules, and people love them. Well, it's just an experience that's different than the seltzers, beer,
Right.
and I think you just want to try to be different, and then you also want to try to respect those people that I don't want to compete with Willie Nelson's CBD liquor.
Right.
But I don't think those are those are really powerful things that you can't control the consumption of them, and I'd be worried for I have teenage kids and I don't want them drinking that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd rather them learn about whiskey and wine and beer, and we know there's certain areas of gluts and downturns in markets, but this alcohol is never going away.
Right.
It's not. It's the way we all celebrate family, friends,
Yeah.
etc. And I think the other part to that is you've got to tell the story. You've got to create the experience for people. And I think dragging people up here or being able to visually show them the experience and share that experience with them of Rod and Hammers and how how we see California. That's a big part to the story. It's not, hey, we're a celebrity sticking our name on a bottle and sending it out there, and because our name,
Right. It sells.
it sells. And we spend, every week we're, boots on the ground, hitting the streets, telling the story, selling in, and I think the more you tell that, the more people get it out there, and they're telling the story as well. So it's building these brand ambassadors, evangelists, to continue to go deep. So then, when people think of whiskey in California, they think of Rod and Hammers. And I think that's, what we're trying to do. And I think there's another part to it is, yes, people may be drinking less, but we've also got a flooded market in alcohol. So I think it's overemphasized how much people really are drinking less. And I think that, there's naturally going to be a fallout of booze over the next 2 years. I mean, there will be less brands that survive, and I think it is cyclical, and you're never going to get rid of people sitting at a bar, sitting at a dinner table, sitting in the backyard, having a drink. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Especially once they get married and have kids, they drink more.
Really? It's just because you can't
These
go
young ones
anywhere,
that
do
aren't drinking
anything.
now, they're definitely going to drink.
Yeah. No, you guys.
That has something to do with it because there is less families or less people having children.
Well, and
that's an interesting point.
they're getting married older. I mean, I know my kids.
That's true.
My nephew who just got married, he's 30.
Right.
We all got married when we were 25, 26. Rodney was 18.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, I was 23.
I just read something about how the youth that is staying more at home, or they're not consuming as much, but they also are suffering from social anxiety, right? And
There's
the
a
idea
lot of that,
places to go, and here in your whole population here, all these folks watching today, they're the ones that are bringing spirit and life and relationships together, right?
Right.
And whether you're rolling up in your cocktail trailer and you're helping people create that social feeling, it's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. And I know we do that with our whiskey trailers, and we are restaurateurs. We understand this business. We understand how difficult and then how rewarding it is. It has all of those elements. But again, it's almost like you have to have that mindset that this is help making people feel less anxious. Get out there and have fun.
That's a good selling point.
Yeah, you're so aligned with what we're building at Happiest Hours. You guys, it's like the community comes first for you guys. You guys are rooted in community, and so are we. And I think the biggest thing is that we're living in this day and age of AI and all of this technology to where people are going to start wanting to take a detox. There's a loneliness epidemic that's going on. And I think this generation they want to connect more in real life.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that we're doing it through a mobile, we're creating a space, a social lubricant, if you will, to get together and hang out. and you guys are doing the exact same thing. Like, what's going to happen today when over 1,000 people? They're not just here to pick up their bottles.
No, they're here to
it's
You know, that's
it's
the
enjoy,
excuse to get here.
yeah.
They're
It's an
here to
experience.
like
Yeah.
hang out and all chat and see what's new. And this is just the thing that we do together. But you're bringing people together, so
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And we get all ages, which is amazing. I mean, we are from 21 to 81. It's fun to watch. Whiskey's that way. Whiskey speaks to a lot of different people in different layers.
Right.
I think what we've seen also in the market, just on the business side, and all of your folks who are watching again, there's been a lot of attrition. There's been a lot of difficulties. Some things that we really lean in on is like tariffs. Well, Canadian whiskey, you've seen a lot of glut. In Tennessee, there's so much. Well, Canada shut off a lot of distribution.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all those guys, those brands lost a lot of sales. We didn't, because we only sell to California. We're local.
Right.
We're encouraging people to lean in local, and they really
Do
do.
the same.
If you could have a coastal whiskey in your hotel, restaurant, bar that you could tell a story so that guest can take it home with them, and it says California on it, that's a pretty nice
That's cool.
experience. I think also we saw the leaving of RNDC, which is one of the largest distributors in the nation, left the state of California.
Right.
We are fortunate enough to be going with Southern Glaciers and have worked very hard to be focused with them and their whole team. But you got to support those who support you.
Right.
Right.
And so we've done a really good job. But we brought how many of their employees up here?
We probably had 300 of their
Oh,
employees.
wow.
That's right. I
We
heard about that.
entertain them.
They
They
get
come
to
in here.
learn.
They do the whiskey tastings. We'll have lunch with them.
That means so much.
Take them
Yeah.
out to the surf.
Yeah.
Kayaking, barbecues on the beach.
The wine spirits
everything.
concierge people at Albertsons, Vaughn's, Pavilions, or they come. They get to see it.
Yeah,
We
wow.
give them a little tour, a little taste. They get
Well,
it
and
all.
we have part of our crew, our happiest hour fam, here with us today too. They're not here with us at the moment.
Yeah.
They're waiting for us to come and party later.
Oh, they're excited. We're all
They're ready.
excited. So
Now, do guests? I'm sorry to interrupt, Ryan.
You're good.
Do guests get to come in the bar here tonight?
Yeah, this is usually the end of our whiskey tour
Mm-hmm.
that we bring them in here, and then they want to try something really special that's really not open to
Mm-hmm.
the public. We do that. We also do a lot of trainings and seminars, and we'll find even the Southern folks here every end of the month trying to close some deals. But yeah, we use this just as our one of our assets. But we have a beautiful concert venue. We're actually really known for live music,
wow.
which you're going to hear tonight.
Okay.
And then we have the real tasting room, which is on the far side of the building. But this is a 3-acre campus. We were very ambitious when we opened it, but it's really, if you build it, they will come
Yeah,
kind of
and-
thing,
and
and
held
we're
true.
seeing all that.
Yeah.
So.
And then you mentioned earlier you have a cocktail trailer or a tasting trailer
Yeah,
as well.
we have a horse trailer, and it's in high demand.
horse
And,
trailer?
Yeah,
Look
and I recommend everyone when you look at those
timing.
Airstreams.
Perfect.
Those Airstreams are so expensive, and it's sounds so sexy. But he's got a bunch of trailers on property, and he goes, "Let's just convert one of these," and they're the
Perfect.
funnest things. And
Yes.
we
It's
drive
honestly
it.
one of the best things we've ever done. We've got
Oh.
another one sitting out there we've got to convert.
I have
so
to look
cool.
at it. I have to take a look at it.
Throw a surfboard on the roof and it's
Ready.
You'll see it
Sounds-
tonight. It'll be set up out
Yeah.
here.
Perfect.
It serves the welcoming cocktail as people get here, so you'll see.
I love
it. I love it.
Fantastic. No, this is great. We can't wait to finish the tour and look at the distillery and see all the uniqueness from you guys. And I'm curious now, what's next for Rod and Hammer? What do you guys? What's on your minds of what's coming up? It could
I'll
be
let
a
you answer
skew.
first.
It could be.
I've got a challenge for you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I think for us again to continue to go deep in California, which we're really succeeding
Is there any
at.
focus areas that you guys are, or just?
No, it is all of California.
All
So
of
again,
California.
for us,
Right.
it's like when people think of whiskey in California, we want to, they think of us, Rod Hammers, and so
Right.
we're up and down the coast right now, and distributed really well, through all the major chains. I think we're 65-35, so 65% chain, 35% on-prem, which is actually really good.
Nice.
And then we're about to expand we're already in Colorado, and we'll start to expand into Arizona, Nevada, and then we're going to take the cans out to about 8 to 10 other states because the canned cocktails travel differently than the whiskey.
Right.
The bottled whiskey, it needs a lot of love.
Right.
And
Right.
you really got to nurture it in market and tell the story and taste people through it. Especially the bartenders, because if there's no story behind it,
Right.
What's
the
connecting them to
bartenders,
what
they're
they're
going to stick
serving.
it up on the back
Yeah.
shelf. It's going to get bloody dust on it, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
Right.
So I think for us, it's really to keep spreading the word of California whiskey and Rod and Hammers, and really penetrate the West Coast, be known for the West Coast whiskey.
Yeah.
For Rod and Hammers. So.
Love it.
Yeah, and I would add, I just a challenge to, and I've been trying to create this, is that we have a huge demand for old fashions. This is a ready to serve,
Yeah.
and we just made one for all of the Mammoth Mountains bars, which is a vanilla maple old fashioned. You guys get to taste it today.
Nice.
It's delicious,
Very
and we played around with bacon fat old fashions with maple. But we love
breakfast in a
this
cup.
whole thing. But I would love
is
to do a
breakfast in a
challenge
cup.
to your viewers.
Yes.
To share with us some of their recipes, because we would love to make them, because we really want to be known as a house of old fashions.
Right.
The old fashioned is the #1 drank cocktail in the world. Not the
wow.
world, but in whiskey.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, whiskey
Right,
world.
right.
And it has some elements to it that you can be so creative and do so many different things with it. And as we expand, we are going to be focusing on drinks like that, because we find it consumer friendly and we find it bar friendly. Even in Bar and Well, if you're maybe not a sophisticated bar and you have to make an old fashioned from scratch, that's a lot of work.
And it's
Right.
time consuming.
Yeah.
Time consuming,
Yeah.
not consistent. We actually just did
And not consistent.
and
I was
not
just going to
consistent
say,
is the
yeah,
big one.
that's
As
a big one.
owners, it's just painful to see. We get annoyed in our tasting room, because you'll go into the tasting room and they'll make the Rod or margarita one way in there, and then a new bartender in the restaurant will be making it a different way. It's like, hey, this isn't your recipe; it's ours. You make it one way. But we just did an awesome old fashioned. We had a guy called Roe up in Sacramento. He's pretty famous in the whiskey world in California, but he also has a peach farm. And so we just did an old fashioned for him. We're just about to bottle it on the 21st. But what we did, he picked all these peaches, brought them down in his truck, and then we smoked the peaches in our smoker. And we created a syrup, and the syrup is insane. So good. And
That
we're
sounds
infusing that
amazing.
into our bourbon, and then adding the old fashioned mix to it. And I had a taste of it the other day. It's freaking mind blowing. We actually just said, "Oh my God, we can use this smoker for so many things that we could use it for." So I think it's things like that, like Rod said, getting recipes, really owning that old fashioned market as we move forward as well.
It strikes me as we brought a lot of foodies into our whiskey because we love food.
Same.
And we do a lot of whiskey dinners with some of our best on-premise customers. And I think it's always great when you can pair whiskey with something. I mean, we've had such things as our cask bourbon poured into a bone marrow bone that you drink the shot out of. That's just been mind-blowing.
Amazing.
I love that when you bring the food. I think that we should probably schedule our next year's visit where we're going to have happiest hours cocktail contest. And we bring everyone up who wants to compete, and we should do that. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be so
Absolutely.
much
Brilliant.
fun.
Done
Yes.
and done. We
Okay.
would love it. We already
Alana, can you get the scheduler out, please?
block the schedule
lock
for
it
it
in.
right now.
Wow, that
like,
sounds
and
amazing.
Winner gets to go
They would
either
love
ride
that.
horses in the dunes or go kayaking out at Morro Bay. We'll put them up. It'll be great. We'll have a lot
That
of
is
fun.
amazing.
Done.
Yeah,
No,
that is amazing. Thank you.
This is great. I can honestly say that the community is already, and again, we appreciate you guys letting us up here, and we're really excited to have you guys as a preferred brand because the community has accepted it immediately.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
it was very well received.
Very
immediately.
well received.
Yeah.
We did
immediately.
blind tastings with it with some heavy hitters of your typical Kentucky, bourbons and all
Nice.
nothing. Those are great brands, all good stuff.
Absolutely.
But we did blind tasting with it and they were like, this is great. This stands up to it, this and that. And or they'll even say this actually tastes better.
Yeah.
And they don't even know what it is, right? They're doing blind tasting. So we make sure that it's accepted by the community first before we take on any brands. And
then see how the clients are receiving it.
Right, exactly.
So for me initially, when we had it up on the bar, a lot of guests, typical stuff they're expecting to see. And while we haven't heard of Rod and Hammers, try it. You'll love it. I'm telling you. And
Right.
I always start off the bat with, well, it's ours. It's California. It's
Right,
us,
yeah.
which catches people quickly. And every guest that's tried it loved it. Really well received. Yeah.
And Vivian over here, she does a lot of like whiskey cocktails. She has her blackberry smash.
I do.
This and
Oh,
that.
that's- yes.
I
She
do.
has a
My
rye
push
chai
has
that
been
she
to try
does.
to get the ladies, more
Right.
comfortable with having whiskey. So my cocktails have been really helpful in that,
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, she's been killing it. So
Thank you.
But no, we're excited to keep it going. I definitely want to cheers and to plenty more visits.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, for sure.
And a lot more stuff. We got to get you guys down to SoCal
Yes.
so that you can come and check us out as well. And what we're doing at UC Riverside, which is really cool, Would love to get one of your trailers in there.
Yeah, let's do
That
it.
would be
Talk to the
fun.
community.
Yeah, do a
easy.
little event down there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
right.
had a huge festival at the
Right.
university 2 days ago.
Right.
And we were serving the peach whiskey teas, right?
Yes,
Yeah, and
the
it was
cans.
huge. They
loved
loved
it.
it. Yeah, they
Absolutely
loved
loved
it.
it, so.
It was easy to push cocktails in a big
Right,
scale because you're
right.
just cracking those cans and going. Yeah,
Right.
it was
So-
great.
Cool.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate
Cheers.
it. The
Thanks for
time.
having us.
This is
Thank
great.
you. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Absolutely.